Virgos, loving it. You guys went through a really dodgy period where, you know, the energies were really tough for you guys. Seems to be picking up. It's all relative though, right? So let's start off with strength. Strength is that. It's inner strength. It's courage. It's that resilience to get through something. Strength card, it's beautiful energy. It says you have the strength to overcome any obstacle. And it's not brute force. It's, you know, if we were going to talk about going up against, say, I don't know, a corporation or something, I don't know why this is coming up, but there you go. It's more the kind of sit-in, having like a sit-in rather than rioting and protesting in the streets and stuff. That's the difference. Strength is more quiet energy, you know. It's that inner resilience. I can get through this. I can do this. I've got the courage to see this through. And you overcome all obstacles like that. She has that lemnis gate above her head. So she has the knowledge. It's her knowledge that gives her the strength. The lion should be able to rip her apart. This line looks kind of weird in this deck. I don't know. But that's what gives her the strength to get through this. So beautiful energy to have as your underlying energy for the week. Now, the thing is, when strength comes up, as beautiful as an energy as it is, it does talk about obstacles that need to be overcome, you know, otherwise it wouldn't be telling us anything. It wouldn't say that we need strength. So there is that kind of implied message with strength, but you're up for it. You're good. It's not going to be obstacles. You probably see them more as challenges to overcome, right? So what do we have? What's at the heart of the reading? What's the central issue? We have the Six of Pentacles. This is about giving and receiving, balance, right? What we give out is what we get back. So this, you know, I always see this as the minor arcana version of justice. Why do I say that? Because that's all about fairness and balance as well. And so is this, you know, fair and equal compensation for work that you do in a relationship. Both people are putting in the same amount. I will say this, if you're looking for some kind of balance, somebody has to go first, right? Somebody has to go first. And I always make that clear with this card, because as much as, you know, both people are giving and receiving, somebody must have gone first. Did these kids hold out their hands to this guy and say, you know, we need some money, and that's when he gave it? Or did he offer the coin seeing the kids, and that's why they came running up to him to grab the money? Somebody goes first, and what you give and receive may not be the same, but it will be equal in some way. It will mean the same thing to both people. I always like that, because think about it. The rich guy's getting, what is he getting out? He's got surplus, and he gets to do something good. He feels good about himself as he does this. And the children give him the opportunity to do that. But he's giving them money, right? They haven't got anything, so he's giving them that. So it is balanced, but you're trying to get balance in a situation now at a very mundane level. I kind of feel there's a situation that you might be leaving behind or getting out of. And this is coming up to say, I don't know why, who needs to hear this, but alone might be your answer, alone. Because that's what the Six of Pentacles is. What you take, you give back then, right? Alone might be the answer, especially if you're in a situation, you're trying to get out of it. You don't know how to get out of it. You know, if money's tight, or you think I'm not gonna have anything. It could be alone. It doesn't have to be from a bank. Maybe someone could loan you their support, right? Or loan you a worker or something. It's that kind of an energy, right? I don't know who needed to hear that, but there you go. But you have the strength to do this. And maybe it's the strength to ask for this. You know, sometimes we don't ask for our needs to be met. Especially a sign like Virgo. You guys are a sign of service. You'll help people. If someone needs help, you'll go and give help. But how often do you ask for anything back? So this might be you know, calling in some of those markers and saying that, you know, I would like some help back now. Thank you very much for all the stuff that I've done for you, which is great. Because we have the High Priestess coming up as a past energy. Now, I see this as a very passive energy. In fact, if you look at this, as much as strength is the courage to go for something, fearlessness, you know, it is a passive energy too. It's quiet. It's not loud. It's not anger. It's not loud passion. It's you're quietly doing what you need to do with that inner resilience. And the High Priestess, she knows everything. She has knowledge. You know, she's the keeper of all secrets, but she's also a passive energy. She doesn't do anything. She knows everything. Now, it may be that something happened in the past that you trusted your intuition on, because that's what the High Priestess says. You know, trust your gut feeling on this. Trust your intuition on this. Maybe that's why you're feeling so strong now, because you know something. You know something. Something may have been revealed to you. She's a tarot card reader, right? She has occult knowledge. She's the kind of, I always see her as the kind of ethereal version of the Hierophant. He's the earthly representation of, like, you know, religion, organized religion, corporations, stuff. She's not that. She's a cult study. She's not universities and stuff. So there's something here, some knowledge that you gained. Don't know how you gained it. Someone told you a secret. You figured something out from you had a gut instinct about something, or you learned something, right? I think that's giving you a lot of strength. And more than this, if you're going into a situation, I'd say there's 50-50 chance here. If you kind of didn't believe you had a chance in a situation before, you do have a chance now. You know, it's balanced. It's fair with the Six of Pentacles coming up here. Now, what's coming up in the present? And have a look. All 4 of your corners are major arcana cards. So we have Death coming up here. Death is never a surprise. It's not the Tower. And it's not as harsh as Judgment. I think Judgment's a lot harsher than Death. But it is that kind of energy of transformation, of change. You know, all the things that have been leaving your life. With Death, it kind of takes a while to come. It kind of rolls through our life. That's the way I see Death. Some of you might be dealing with a Scorpio. There's Leo energy here as well. Pisces at the end there. But, you know, the signs don't own the cards. They just lend their characteristics to them. And what I see here with Death coming in, you may have been going through a time where you've been losing things. You know, it makes sense with the Six Pentacles coming up here. People have been leaving your life. You've experienced losses in some way. And Death is not just about loss. It's about death and rebirth, right? We lose things from our life, or they are removed from our life so that new can come in. That we often forget that with Death, that it is about rebirth as well. And I would have gone more on the, oh my God, there's losses thing with this if Strength wasn't sat above it. And if the Six of Pentacles wasn't here. Because this feels like if you've had losses now, it's time for the scales to balance. I know there's no scales in. Well, there are sometimes scales in the Six of Pentacles. Oh, there are actually right at the back. Can't really see them. You can see the kind of, I don't know. Sorry, I can't get to focus. But yeah, so it is time now for the scales to balance. And so if there's been losses, it feels like things are starting to come back now. And they're coming back through your own strength, guys. I don't want to play it down and say like, oh my God, this is just happening to you. It's going through all those losses, going through whatever you've gone through, that death energy. It's transformed you. You are stronger now. You know, you have that courage. And it happens. What's my favorite saying? I mean, we don't have the Queen of Swords here, but it's that kind of energy, you know, damaged people are dangerous. They know they can survive, but you are not just surviving, you're thriving. You've got 10 of Cups coming up. I'll get to that in just a moment. But after all your losses, that's what's made you stronger. You know, you've gotten some knowledge out of that. You've learned something now. You've trusted your instinct. You know where this is going. And so you're not going to worry about it because you think, okay, don't worry. I've kind of gone through this. I've survived this. It's gone great. Stuff's coming back. You know, it's balancing out now. Again, you know, sometimes I get the energies of other cards, even though they're not here, they're not present. I'm getting Queen of Swords and I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune where the wheel turns. You know, nothing stays. That's the only thing that's guaranteed in life is change. And we have that kind of change rolling through, especially with death coming up. But we have the Ten of, where does it lead? Where does all this change lead? Well, it leads to the Ten of Cups. But, you know, I always say nothing just happens in our lives, right? And this is kind of grace under fire. That's how I'm getting from this. You're showing immense grace under fire. You're standing your ground. You know, you are courageous in the face of whatever the losses have been, because you know they're going to balance out. And they do. They don't even balance out. You are expecting that. I think you would be happy with that, with a kind of draw. You know, win, lose, draw. You've had so many losses. Yeah, win would be great. But, you know, you're happy with the draw. Six of Pentacles. There's a win here. We have the Ten of Cups coming up. This is happy families. This is, you know, it's our true heart's desire. The Nine of Cups is the wish card. But I always say the Nine of Cups is what we wish for when we know what we want. And this is when we know what we need. When we get what we need in the Ten of Cups, that's when we're truly fulfilled and happy, right? So this can be to do with the family. This can be some kind of celebration. It's also one of the marriage cards, but it's groups of people getting together and it's something to celebrate. Now, let's try to get a few, because I've kept the energies, that's how they are in this, but this could be that, you know, there's been if we're looking at marriage for a relationship or some kind of major commitment, that you haven't had the money, then a loan, you could have a loan or someone will help you pay for it, right? if it's a relationship. I don't want to make it fit like that because the energies are so big, especially these. And this could affect anything, you know, anything. It could be overall, it could be romance, work, everything together, not just one thing. When you get so many major arcana cards, that's across the board change. You know, it's affecting everything. There's a very big energies that come in, especially cards like death. Things have changed. Things are different. You're different. You're different. You're feeling this strength. I can do this. I'm going to go to my happy ever after. You know, the reason I can hang in here, the reason I've got the courage to go forward, because I know this is what's waiting for me. Some of you are doing it for your families or a future family that you're looking for, right? I mean, even for work, this is, maybe you've been working, you weren't getting paid. You've put in extra hours. You've done so much. You've just quietly endured it, learned things, did things, kept going. And maybe there've been losses at work, but out of that, something celebration worthy comes in. Now, the advice here for you, because you're not here yet, that's what your focus is. The future card is always the focus. I would say it's the least important card in a spread because it's the one that can be changed. For me, the past and the present are the key ones. And some people don't like the past, but that shows you why you are where you are. Because you trusted your instincts. You trusted that gut feeling. You know, you might have been just going on a hope and a prayer. That's what, you know, what some of you have been doing. I'll do this. And you've got that strength to do this. But that's, you know, it's going there. Now, the thing is, death is in the present. So this can be, you know, there's a moment. And the example I always give is if we were decorating a room in our house and we removed all the furniture, we were going to replace everything in there. Removed everything and all the walls look scuffed. You know how they look after you remove everything. And at some point, everything looks barren. Everything looks nasty and dirty and it needs to be changed. But that's right before the change happens. So some of you might be here and just hanging on by a thread. So that's the advice. The advice is the moon card. And both of these cards talk about intuition. I mean, they are secretive energies. She's secretive. The moon talks about secrets as well, but it doesn't make sense with everything else. Unless you know a secret that's giving you strength to go forward, that you know, let this go now. I've got like an ace up my sleeve. That there could be that element here. But the moon, overall, the energy of the moon, it's what it's saying to you is, you know, you might look ahead and not be able to see clearly yet. You know this is there. You hope this is there. You know, it's shadowy, but you know at the end of the street, this is what's waiting for you. But how do you get there, right? How do you get to the 10 of Cups, the happily ever after? How do you get there? Well, the moon, it's illuminating part of the street. So there's shadows everywhere. It's a card of illumination, but you don't look at what's revealed. You look at what's not revealed. So what's in the shadows? Now, you might say, well, I don't know. I can't see in the shadows. Yeah, you can't, but your brain will start to tell you what's there. You know, your mind starts coming up, that little saboteur, the fears, they start speaking. There's dangerous animals out there. Someone's waiting to attack me in the shadows, that. So what the moon asks you to do is look at your fears and doubts. Look at your fears and doubts. And you may have to tap back into this. Some of you, you've been doing some kind of meditation work or some intuitive work or something, you know, with the High Priestess coming up here. But because it's sat underneath there, it's saying, you can't trust what you see around you just yet. You can't, you know, this is around the corner yet. You can't actually see it. It's not in your eye line yet. You can't see it. But the only thing that's telling you it's not there are your fears and doubts. So have a look at those. But I love the death energy that's coming in with underneath strength. Because it's the strength to endure all of that. Because you know you're going to your happily ever after, right? And I mean, we call it the happily ever after. It's the end of an emotional cycle. You guys have been strong, though. You know, with the High Priestess, it's very passive energy. Someone might have looked at you and not known what was going on. They would have just thought, oh, you know, Virgo's all calm and good about this. And there could have been lots going on. You know, you still, with death coming in, that's transforming you. You are not that same person that you were. So you have, I love you. These are very important words. You guys are keeping it simple, I swear. Focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. And this is, you know, the basics of who we are. I did a talk, I don't know how many weeks ago, was it in my outro, where I was harping on about love. And I do it all the time on social media as well. Because that's what we are. We are love. Love's been turned into this romantic thing. But we are love, you know. So is that, to get strength, if you start doubting your strength, if this fear start to creep in and say, well, this is not happening, or what's going to happen? I thought, you know, was my gut wrong? Was my instinct wrong to go with this? No. Focus on what you love. And that is love. That is the union of love. You know, that's the groups, the family, Everyone's celebrating love together. And be sure to say, I love you too, as much as you can. Beautiful. I mean, I love these two together because they're so basic. They're just love. What do you love? What's getting you through this? Because that's going to give you the strength to do this. And it will tell those fears to you, like, shut up. If they're meant to come out, they will come out again. But let's see, there's that one. All right, not for you. So yeah, that's death, right? Something's being removed, not for you. But death is something being removed, you know. I don't know if I said that clearly enough. It is, but it serves you. And you're strong enough to do this. And I think you know it. It's never a surprise. It's never a surprise. That's why you're being asked to focus on what you do love, because something is being removed from your life that, you know, it doesn't serve you. That's what the death card says. Look, it just doesn't. There's better things coming in for you. And you kind of know that, right? You kind of know that. Okay, it says, dear you, oh my, things are stirred up and change is upon you. Yeah, hell yeah, they got death in the present. This is cause for celebration. No need to be nervous, but know that it's okay to be afraid when faced with the uncertainties of life. This is your reading, Death and the Moon. The funny thing is that courage, this is, wow, is that courage doesn't get mustered in the absence of fear, rather in spite of it or even because of it. Step into the unknown now. Let go of the branch you are clinging to and let spirit take the wheel and help steer you to your highest good and most wonderful adventure. All you need to concern yourself with is choosing courage as your ally. Leave the rest up to us. There's a load of miracles being shipped your way. Remember what philosopher Joseph Campbell said, take one step toward the gods and they will take 10 toward you. We're all doing the destiny cha-cha on your behalf. That's right, don't be afraid to dance. Loving you always. And think about it, guys. You know, it's that whole take one step. That's why I was kind of making a big deal about who goes first. Somebody goes first here. So it might be going out on a limb. It might be that. But that basically summed up your reading. It summed up your reading. You've got the courage to go for this. And like I said, you might just be in this on a, you know, a gut feeling, on your instinct, on your intuition. And that change starts happening. Things are getting transformed around you. And yeah, fears come in, right? Your fears and doubts, but that's all they are. That's all they are. Even the moon card says, trust your intuition. Don't trust what you see around you. Trust your intuition. And you know what that is because she's coming up here in the past. And it leads to, yeah, miracles, amazing things coming in.